So are we seeing a shift to all your heavyweight stuff on Raw and your high flying uh, luchador
Big
stuff
time.
on
Oh,
SmackDown?
I can tell you that is charcuterie because Ricochet is on Raw. Okay.
It's not shark.
that is a bunch of charcuterie.
All right.
Well, yeah. With that, we're at.
And even beat him. Sorry to say, but he's a legend. But to be the best, you must beat the best, you know. And I feel like I can beat him. So Chavo, I'm calling you out. I said, come on.
There it is. Chavo Guerrero. Right there. You heard it. Emilio Guzman calling you out, and I'm not gonna lie. Love Chavo to death, but Team Emilio right here. That's where I have to go. Again,
Table.
there will possibly be a table there that might or might not have something to do with the match. Come out and see us. I want to say thank you again to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the boys for being here tonight. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for being here. With these guys every time.
We're there.
Okay, wheelhouse. So all I can say is Los Crudos better bring everything they've got because this is going to be a fight.
I'll say I'm pretty sure I've only heard of like one Texas death match, and didn't David Arquette like almost die?
Did you just talk about
Good
David Arquette?
Lord.
Did you bring David Arquette into a wrestling podcast?
I said, didn't he almost die? Like,
So stuff.
So you had a B plus on Raw, B minus on SmackDown, had a B plus and a B. You want to know what show got an absolute S plus in my opinion?
SCP, that's the one.
That's right. Squared Circle Pros Tornado Slam. What a show from start to finish. Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had
The chat, we have the like official tagline for Tornado Slam. So y'all use that information. Go get you a ticket.
it'll be out on our socials. It's on Squared Circle Pros socials as well.
We will be there.
We will be there.
we will be there.
there.
We will be there. You're going to be in Florida with doing Mickey Mouse stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Before we get into it, there's been a little controversy, I'll come to find out, so I'm going to have to address it real quick. Apparently, last week I said some things about our new WWE, the United States champion Logan Paul that upset some people. So I'm going to set the record straight. Logan Paul as a guy, not a fan. As a wrestler, I can honestly say, and I've said it before, he hasn't had a match yet that hasn't been just an absolute banger. So as a wrestler, I've got respect for the guy. Like, I don't understand. He's got all this stuff going on, and I don't understand all these people that just run out and try to support everything he does. And, they try to get their prime drinks all the time. And, oh, that's good.
I'm curious because I'm like, how are they gonna make someone? Because all the promos they've done to build him up, I'm like, the way that Sammy's been taking shots for Roman Reigns, the only real shot he's given back is a shot with the chair, and then he just got mollywopped. He's never been the guy who just comes out and messes people up.
What do you get?
And can overpower Roman Reigns. What?
What do you get?
Wally mopped, obviously.
Well, having the Macho Man Chris Wolf out there was very good for me. There was something that I really wish Little Guapo could have been there for, because it's a throwback, in my opinion, to the Attitude Era days. Because said trash can that was being used to beat upon Logan Knight got placed on Logan Knight. And they were taking turns just beating him up in the trash can. And it was great.
That's like definitely, yeah. So,
All right. So it looks like we're having a couple of issues.
Oh my gosh. All
Oh,
right.
there we
Yeah,
go.
there
Now
we
we
go.
got some
told you,
sound.
I'm adulting better than him already.
All right. Hunter, say ass.
What?
Say ass.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am, as you can tell by my eyes, your worn-out host, Guapo, and the gentleman sitting, what's this side? The gentleman sitting right over here, the one, the only, and apparently the parched, the guy.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, man? Glad you could be with us tonight.
Get my Sprite on.
See, me, I got to go with the aguas.
Hell yeah.
Got to stay hydrated. You got to hydrate before you dehydrate. My daughter tells me that all the time. So it's been a crazy week. It's been a lot of good times. Want to say quick thank you to our boys in Labor 12. Got a rep. They do our intro, outro music. The track is called Head Rush. The album's called Monsters, and absolute bangers, everything on it. You can get it anywhere you get your streaming music. So make sure you check them out. Head over to their socials too. Tell them Guapo sent you. That ought to be interesting and a lot of fun. So we got the opportunity to do something pretty cool this weekend. Got a chance to go out to Odessa for OSW The Revival. Before we get started in the Revival, got to say what's up to J Reb. Cameron, glad you could make it in tonight.
What's up, J-Rib?
It was exactly what I hoped it would be, the Revival in Odessa. Wasn't sure what to expect. Since we've started this podcast, like back in February, it's been something we've heard about, OSW. OSW, the first thing I was told about OSW is, in its prime, OSW was West Texas Wrestling. And so it was an honor for us to get to go and be there for that. As you can see, I got my OSW shirt right here. Got a rep to OSW. Wasn't sure what to expect when we got there, but man, was it awesome. So just a few highlights from that. We had 300 plus people in the Ector County Coliseum Barn B, and every one of them as into it as can be. And it was really, really cool to see.
I love the fact that they ran out of chairs and they had to go get more. That was an awesome part.
I mean, if you're going to have a problem, and I said something about this to Mike. Mike, of course, on commentary with me. Yeah, that was kind of cool. But I said something to him about that as a promoter. If you're going to have a problem, not having enough chairs for everybody is the problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
So got to see a lot of cool things with that. Of course, we got to see what for me was the match of the night. It was your OSW West Texas champion Ryan Justice against the Defender of Truth and your BCW Texas champion Gabriel Alexander. Almost said something else. Gabriel Alexander. This was match of the night. I mean, it was straight battle, back and forth. Awesome match. And in the end, our boy Gabriel gets the win, is now your OSW West Texas champion, and I couldn't be happier for him. I told him, I don't know if he's watching right now, but if you're watching, I said I would say it, and I couldn't agree with it more. That's our boy Gabriel Two Straps right there. Got that BCW belt, got that OSW belt. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
That wasn't the only thing though. We had a lot of good matches. We had unfortunately, we had Chris Wolf after wrestling in a triple threat with Classico Lucha Punk and Noah Hossman, announcing that he's retiring. The crowd was really, really into it. He said instead of a thank you chat, he wanted a Fred chat, and that's exactly what he got. It was surreal the way the crowd reacted to that. Got to see Justin Taylor, longtime friend of the show, go against the Texas Terminator, Jay Alexander. That dude is freaking huge.
Yeah. And the crowd did not like him at all. Everybody was just booing the crap out of that guy.
Okay, so as Jay Alexander walks out, and this is the thing that got me. So you've got people that are sitting along the walkway when they come in. And there's a kid there, couldn't have been more than 5 years old. And the kid's boo, boo, get in his face. And Jay Alexander leans down over and says, "Shut up, kid," or something along those lines. This kid starts bawling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are the heel when you get after a kid and the kid starts crying. It was insanity. Hell of a match. I mean, Justin came out with his living proof flag, and then said, "Hold on a minute." Went to the back and got a Fred Urban flag, which I thought was really, really cool. Gets in the ring before the match starts. Jay Alexander says, "No champion's advantage. If you get disqualified, you get counted out. I pin you. I submit you. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If you lose this match, I'm the champion." And Justin, being who Justin is, he didn't back down, not even a little bit. So we get a lot of back and forth in this match. Oh, go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, and with that, Jay kept bringing in items to get Justin disqualified, which was absolutely insane for me. Watching the ref just sit there confused and dazed and didn't really understand what was going. He kept thinking that Justin was the one doing it because Jay set it up to where Justin had it.
He absolutely Eddie Guerrero'd him. Like he went out. They had a ref bump. The ref's down, so Jay Alexander gets out and goes and grabs a chair, gets in the middle of the ring, slams the chair down on the mat, throws it at Justin and falls down holding his head. And the ref turns around, sees Justin with the chair. Justin's like, no, I didn't do that. There was a couple of them points where he brought the belt in and made it look like Justin had hit him with the belt.
Mm-hmm.
It was, when it's all said and done, your OSW champion is still Justin Taylor, and the living proof. He's my boy. I love him to death. However, this particular match has an asterisk beside it for me because I am a fan of the game, and I'm not talking Triple H. I'm talking wrestling. Jay Alexander got pinned, but he got pinned with his foot under the rope. The ref didn't catch it. What the ref says is final, but I don't think that's the last time we're going to see those two going at it.
Probably not.
And let's not forget we had Jeb. Jeb going against Max Heights. Of course, Jeb Bingham, longtime friend of the show. It was awesome to see him at home. He was one of the original OSW guys. It was awesome to see him there. Of course, I got my wild card mask going on right here. Wild card making an appearance at the show. When it's all said and done, though, Jeb gave a really heartfelt speech. And when you talk about emotion, the emotion Jeb was feeling during that, he said, I've been hiding behind this mask for a long time. And Fred took a chance on Jeb Bingham because he believed in Jeb Bingham. So moving forward for a while anyway, I'm going to be Jeb Bingham. And if you're watching, Jeb, if you're listening, we support you completely in that. You've always got a place here with the podcast. We're behind you, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be great to see Jeb Bingham do his thing.
Can we talk about, just for a second, with Jeb's match, can we talk about his move that just, what the fuck was that? Pardon my language, but oh my God, it was the best thing I've ever seen.
We've actually got Jeb in the chat with us. Jeb, glad you could be here, man. We're so proud of you. And it's an honor for us to get to go along with you on this journey, man. I appreciate you letting us be a part of that. And Patrick is absolutely right. That Spanish fly off the top rope, holy hell.
Yes.
There's going to be some video coming out real soon about this. You've got to see this. Jeb just runs up, just straight up to the top turnbuckle, grabs Max Height, and Spanish fly onto the mat. It was insanity.
If you don't know what a Spanish fly is, I recommend going and watching it on YouTube real quick just to see what it is, because there's no way. That was freaking awesome, man.
That was outstanding.
Yes.
I loved every minute of that. And the crowd, the way the crowd popped at that Spanish fly was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to talk about, I don't want to call it the elephant in the room, but maybe the Mexican warrior in the room, our boy Chavo Guerrero in the building at OSW. And it was awesome. That one of the most humble dudes I've ever had the opportunity to meet. Like he was so nice, so humble, until he got in the ring. And then he was just a fireball. It was crazy. for those who are fans of Los Guerreros from back in the day, I loved the entrance. Chavo comes in, standing in the passenger seat of a lowrider, as it should be.
Mhm.
What was it, 57 Bel Air, I think it was?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Not real great with cars, but it was beautiful. It was a beautiful car.
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful. Check out OSW or Old School Wrestling Inc. on Facebook. They've got some pictures up of the matches and of Chavo coming in the car, coming in true Guerrero style. And once he makes his way to the ring, him and Lou Gotti, they just went at it, man. Lou Gotti finding himself outside of the ring more than he was in there for a little while. But
Yeah.
the Guerrero fan in me couldn't have seen it end a better way. You had Chavo doing the Tres Amigos, followed by the frog splash off the top rope. It was something to see. Of course, he got the win over Lou Gotti, and the whole show, like the entirety of that show, was absolutely amazing. We got to see tag team action between the Horsemen and Cool World, and tell you right now, when the crowd gets behind somebody the way they were behind, or not the Horsemen, Horsepower, excuse me. The way they got behind Horsepower, it's crazy. Like, I mean, you can just feel the electricity in the room when the crowd gets behind them. Horsepower pulling off the win over Cold World. It just, the whole show was great, and it had that feeling of we're home.
Yes.
And don't know if she's watching right now, but Tori, if you get a chance to see this, if you're listening, if you're watching, thank you so much for letting us be a part of that, because it truly was a revival.
Yes, and thank you very much for giving us that opportunity to go out there. Can't wait to do another one or the next one.
She put it out there the other day. New dates coming soon, so I can't wait to hear what they are.
Hell yeah, let's go.
It's going to be good. But no, it was a lot of fun to be out there. Got to meet a lot of new people. Got to see a lot of people. And this is something I wanted to discuss with the different places we have the opportunity to be a part of everything with Squared Circle Pro, with BCW, now with OSW. It's awesome to see the way people come together. You've got South Plains Championship Wrestling. I saw Charlie 50 there. I saw Brian Rage Rivera was there. Emilio Guzman was there. I mean, people from other promotions coming out to support, and that support is something that you don't see in other sports, and you don't see in other facets of life. And it's so awesome to see it. Talking about partnerships and talking about things that are exciting. Rick and Camino, both in the chat. What's up, fellas? Glad you could make it in tonight.
Oh, just so everybody knows, this guy definitely put some new emotes in, so you should definitely check those out if you are on the Twitch chat. I think there's like 10 new ones, I think. Followers have 5 brand new ones, and subscribers got 5 different ones as well. So we got some new stuff.
If you're watching on Twitch, you haven't hit that follow button yet. What are you doing? Hit the follow button. If you want to subscribe, help us out a little bit, we'd love for you to do that. If you are an Amazon Prime customer, and who's not an Amazon Prime customer, if you click on subscribe down underneath everything, it says use Prime sub. You can subscribe to our channel for free using your Prime sub, and you'll get access to all the subscriber emotes, and you won't get any commercials. So that's a win-win all by itself. That's enough shameless plugging of the podcast for me now. We'll get back into it. Camino, doing great, man. Just talking about OSW, how much fun that show was. Fixing to get into the weekend review. And it's been a decent week. We'll start it out with some SmackDown. Bianca Belair going to start off the show. She called out Damage Control, says the issues aren't over. She wants her belt back. Of course, Damage Control comes out because you can't talk trash about Damage Control without them coming back. But when they come out, so does Charlotte and Shotzi. As you know, the brawl ensues, and there's going to be a match later. The next match is kind of, I like the way it's going, like where it's pushing things. You had Butch without Ridge Holland, so the Brawling Brutes not together in this one against Bobby Lashley, who did have the Street Profits with him. It was a great match, and it really seems like this match was put on so they could put Butch over, which makes me wonder: are we going to see him go back to the Pete Dunne persona? Is the Brawling Brutes done, or are we going to see a Brutes return at some point to bring back Sheamus comes back. We got the Brutes, Sheamus and the Brutes, and Lashley and the Street Profits. It could go either way, honestly. Got to agree with Camino in the chat. Phenomenal job, Tori, and to all of OSW. Such a great show. Rick throwing it out there in the chat. He's already said he doesn't want to go back to Pete Dunne. Well, I get that, and I honestly feel like it gets that feel like they're trying to push him as a singles competitor, but I really think it's just showing the split so that they can come back together. And I really do think it's going to be Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes against I don't know if I can officially call them the Hurt Business now, but that's where we're going with it. I think we all know that. So I kind of feel like that's what this is setting up. Of course, Lashley gets the win, but it was a really good match. There was a whole lot of back and forth to it. After that, we get Santos Escobar and Joaquin Wilde. I like the fact that they let these two go at it. I mean, I already like the infighting in the LWO while Ray's gone. Gives the opportunity to showcase some guys. And that's exactly what this was. Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, they both showed what they could do. I mean, it's something that we need more of. Some of the guys that are not so well known, they're not your top 5 guys, getting a chance to go out there and light it up. And they did. And speaking of lighting things up, once the match is over, Santos goes to put a beat down on Joaquin Wilde, continuing the beat down, and Dragon Lee comes out. Dragon Lee is automatic star, in my opinion. He is such a good talent. Over in the chat, Rick says Santos versus Ray at Mania will be a generational moment. I agree wholeheartedly, and I think that's exactly what it should be, is Santos and Ray. I know they keep doing this thing with Carlito and going a couple other directions with it, but I think when it all ends up in March at Mania, it's going to be Santos and Ray, and it's going to be a hell of a fight. And I'm about it. I want to see it.
Hey, Ray's my man. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Well, what was it you wanted to hashtag last time? Ray all day?
Yeah, Ray all day.
We get everybody's favorite heel, Logan Paul, coming out, and he announces that there's going to be a tournament for a shot at his U.S. title. Kevin Owens goes out and goes toe-to-toe with Paul, which I'm all about it. I love the fact that they're letting Kevin Owens go back to the prize fighter. In my opinion, he's back to the prize fighter persona. He's back to talking trash. He's back to fight Owens fight. I was talking to Mama Bruss just the other day about, trash talking abilities. And one of my favorite things I've ever seen, like crowd interaction. I don't remember who he's facing, but Kevin Owens has a guy in a headlock laid down, talking to the crowd, saying, I made more in just merchandise sales than you're going to make all year. Like, seriously, I made like $12K yesterday. And the whole time he's got this dude in a headlock.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it's a lot of fun to watch. Rick in the chat saying Logan Paul and A-Town Down Under is an awesome threesome of heels. It is. It is great. And putting Austin Theory and Grayson Waller together, I think, was a great move. They play off of each other so well. You see them put people together all the time that it works, but you can tell you've taken 2 superstars and put them together to make a team. Not to throw any shade out there, but look at your women's tag team title holders. That's not exactly they're not exactly a cohesive team, but from the beginning, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller just constant chemistry, and I'm about it. I like it. After Owens comes out, of course, talking about Grayson Waller, he comes out too, and they get into a match, which was a good match. I mean, you got to see Grayson Waller really work Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens also get to show that prize fighter persona. Like, you know, you're breaking down my arms, you're breaking down my legs, but I'm still fighting. Fight, Owens, fight. Unfortunately, Owens did get injured in this one. He's going to be out for a little while. Waller did win the match. Did Waller win the match? Yeah, Waller won the match. But
No idea.
Owens is hurt. Like his hand, he's legitimately tore something up in his hand, and so I'm a little worried about that. I'm hopefully he's back by Rumble. That's kind of my hope, because he's just starting to get that push right. So I'm hoping he's back by then. We get to Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane, and it's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's a banger of a match. These two ladies, so athletic. It's crazy to watch the things they can do. I am going to say Kairi Sane coming out in this whole pirate gimmick, that was awesome. I dug it. Thought it was pretty cool. Kind of trying to figure out what they're doing with Damage Control here. It's been played off fairly well for the last little while that Bayley is no longer as involved as she was, and they keep pushing that to the point that Io Sky told Bayley to stay backstage while they went out. Of course, Damage Control gets involved. Charlotte and Shotzi are out there. They get involved, and all of them get tossed. Referee says, get the hell on. You can't be out here no more. We get a lot of back and forth between Bianca and Kairi, and it's, again, the athleticism out of these two ladies is just crazy. But Bayley comes out, gets an interference, ends up costing Kairi Sane the match. And I don't feel like this is over, not by a long shot. I am interested to see where they go with Bayley in this, because of course they're going to be mad at her because they cost her the match. And I'm hoping to see a face turn out of Bayley. I don't know if I wanted to go back to the passing out hugs Bayley, but I would like to see a face turn out of it. I think that would be a good thing for her. And of course, Bianca Belair is going to work her way through Damage Plan until she gets to Io Sky and gets a chance at the belt. Then, of course, we have what everybody was waiting for. Randy Orton is on SmackDown for the first time in 2.5 years. And the crowd goes nuts. Just absolutely nuts. Go ahead, Patrick.
Now, I will say I watched a bunch of that on TikTok with Randy Orton's speech. I heard it got overshadowed by other things. Is that true?
No.
No?
The overshadowing came at Survivor Series.
Oh, okay.
When a certain CM Punk made his return.
Right. Okay.
No, this you had Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, both the general managers from Raw and SmackDown, offering the world to Randy Orton to sign for an exclusive contract, which I am going to go ahead and throw this out there. I don't understand why they're doing the exclusive contract thing. Like, you've got SmackDown stars on Raw all the time. You've got Raw stars on SmackDown all the time. There's no hard line drawn. Like, maybe that's what they're going to do with this. That would be cool. If that's what they're going to do, is they're going to use this signing to draw that hard line. These are SmackDown people. These are Raw people. But there's not a true brand split right now. And they keep talking about it like it is, but it's not. And I'm about to get to that, Rick. Rick saying in the chat, Nick Aldis took a bump. Randy Orton's out there, and Paul Heyman comes out after both guys promised the world to him. And Paul Heyman says, you're back for revenge. Well, there's not going to be any RKOs tonight. There's not going to be a decision tonight because the Bloodline is going to choose for him, which brings out Solo and Jimmy. They start to beat down on Randy, and it looks bad until you hear L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
He comes out, puts hands on Solo, battles him all the way back to the back, and camera comes back to Jimmy in the ring, and he gets an RKO for his troubles, which Randy looks at Raw, looks at SmackDown, throws the Raw contract away, signs a SmackDown contract, tells Paul Heyman to tell Roman Reigns that Daddy's back. Nick Aldis raising raising Orton's hand, and Orton gives him an RKO out of nowhere. You know how long I've been waiting to say that? Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
And why did Nick Aldis take a bump? Because it's Randy Orton. That's why Nick Aldis took a bump. All in all, it was a good show. I give it a strong B+. Like, there were some things I wasn't real sure about, but all in all, I think SmackDown was good this week. I guess I should say last week, because we got a new SmackDown tomorrow. We make our way to Raw. Drew McIntyre opening the show, talking about everything going on and how everybody's lost their minds because, you know, you can forgive everything. Camino in the chat saying, yeah. Look, we're LA Knight fans. It's Thursday. LA Knight's not using it right now. I can use it. It's just borrowed. It's okay. It's okay. Drew McIntyre talking about he doesn't understand how everybody is just so forgiving all of a sudden, you know. CM Punk leaves the company for, 10 years and comes back and everybody's like, oh, we're so glad you're back. We forgive you for everything. And main event Jey Uso runs to Randy Orton and says, look, dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the things happened the way they did, but I'm not part of the bloodline anymore. So Randy says, we're good. And everybody's trying to figure it out. Looking in the chat, Rick saying, can't wait for Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley. I'm with you. Oh, that's going to be good. Of course, Drew's talking about everything that's going on, and he says there's somebody I'm forgetting. And out comes Sami Zayn. Of course, they have a match tonight. Sami comes out and says they're nothing alike because whenever he lost in front of his family, he nutted up and went right back at it and main evented WrestleMania. And he made his family proud. Looks Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, right square in the eyeballs, and says, are you making your family proud? Okay. On a list of things not to do, that would rank up there pretty high, is to talk about Drew McIntyre's family. Let's not do that. Camino in the chat saying congratulations to LA Knight for tying the knot this past weekend. When he was asked if he will cherish her till death, Knight replied, yeah. And I believe that. I do. I believe that was his exact response.
I wonder if they have a video of that. I have to go look.
Yeah, you'll have to find that. If so, we'll have to put that up for everybody. Put it out on socials. So Drew says, get me somebody out here. Give me a ref right now. We're going to have this match. And they do. It's a good match. Anytime you put Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre in at the same time, it's going to be a good match. It's a match that sees Sami tweak his ankle twice. The first time, you could tell it wasn't comfortable. The second time, though, he could barely stand up. The ref's talking to him, asking him if he's okay. Drew smells blood in the water, comes off the rope, chop blocks that leg, and Sami just goes to screaming. He pins him, 1, 2, 3, makes the ref pick his hand up. The one thing you can take out of that match, other than Drew McIntyre won it, is the Drew McIntyre heel turn is complete. That is something that is happening. We'd see him again after the next match. We'd see him again as they're trying to get a word with Sami Zayn. He comes out and just destroys him, beats him down, and then injures that leg again. So it's crazy right now. Drew Camino saying in the chat, Drew is a monster right now. He is. He is absolutely a monster. And I've got something I'm going to speak on about that here in our next segment. But after that, we had Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Before the match, Nia Jax going up and talking to Becky Lynch saying, you going to fight me or what? And Becky's like, let's go. So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they have a good match. I really feel like it showcased Baszler's toughness because, I mean, she's Shayna Baszler. Mm-hmm. But it also kept the immovable object gimmick they have going for Nia Jax. So, call it Clash of the Titans if you want to. It was a really good match, and of course, Nia Jax gets the win in the end, and Becky Lynch comes out, and Nia Jax decides, well, maybe I don't want to fight her right now. So we're gonna see that in the future. We're gonna see them build this Nia Jax Becky Lynch thing, and I'm excited about it. Camino in the chat saying, what if Drew's actually running Judgment Day? Well, there was something said that Rhea said nobody can touch Drew. Nobody's supposed to say anything to Drew. So I'm kind of wondering what that power dynamic is there. And what does Dom think about that? Had another really good match after that. DIY and Imperium in a 2 out of 3 falls match. I've always liked DIY. Ciampa is just a beast of a man. And you put Johnny Wrestling in there with him, and it's exactly what you hope it's going to be. And Imperium has impressed. Not just so much, they've always been good in the ring, but they're getting their wrestling personas down real well. And I like watching them. I'm going to take just a second to go over here to the chat. Rick says, if they continue to have Nia laying waste to everyone, the final person to put her down has to be Jade Cargill. Amen. Can you imagine the pop on that if they bring out Jade Cargill and Jade Cargill puts down Nia Jax?
Cannot.
I mean, not to throw it out there that way, but the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Rick's gonna get mad at me on that because that's Hogan and Andre.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're both dead, right?
No.
Just fucking.
What the hell? Andre is rest in peace, Andre.
Oh yeah.
The only thing dead was Hogan in his career. I mean,
that's true. Good Lord, that's true.
This 2 out of 3 falls match is a good match all around. Imperium steals the first pin, and Rick's shaking his head. Imperium steals the first one, and you get a whole bunch of back and forth. I mean, both of these tag teams really, really good at what they do. And DIY get the last 2 falls in this. They get the win over it. And now somebody is going to have to answer to the ring general because Imperium didn't win. So I'm interested to see how that plays out because there's been a lot of turmoil going on right there. We got the chance to see Tegan Nox and Natty against Carter and Chance. I don't want to say that this was a filler match, but it had filler match tendencies. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match to watch, but it wasn't great. I like the fact that Carter and Chance got to show off a bit, and they did get the win. Camino over in the chat to talk about prestige to both WWE Undisputed Women's Championship and the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Carter and Chance with the win in this one, and our women's champions, tag team champions, a little worried about that, and for good reason.
Yeah, Rick's saying if Imperium continues to feud with the Gargano clan, then the newest member, if Gargano, my bad, clan, then the newest member, if Imperium should be the return Dexter Loomis, or is that how you say it?
Ooh, I hadn't thought about that. Throwing Dexter Loomis over there with Imperium, that would be nice. Bring back some of that NXT heat. I like it. I like it a lot.
We got Jeb saying, I feel like Jade makes debut as final entry at Rumble. That's his guess.
I can see it. I mean, I don't feel like they hold. I've heard some talk that they're going to hold Cargill until WrestleMania, and I really just can't see them holding her that long. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I feel like we will. I don't know if it's going to be as an entrant, as an onlooker, or what the gimmick's going to be there. But I agree with you, Jeb, that Jade makes her big debut at Royal Rumble. I think that's where we see our first bit of Jade Cargill. Our next match on Raw had the Creed brothers versus Dom and JD McDonough. I'm really digging the Creed brothers. I mean, they've got a good dynamic. They've got a good move set. And I feel like this match was more to highlight them and give them the rub off Judgment Day. It was a good match. Like, there was a whole lot of tagging in and out. It was a lot of fun to watch. And the Creed brothers get the win in the end. And I like a match anytime I can see Dirty Dom or JD McDonough get pinned and lose a match. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm still waiting
And
for.
then,
Oh, hang on. I gotta allow something here.
you gotta allow something.
Yeah. So Kamina said Jade Cargill was at the Big 12 Championship with her fellow alumni, and man, she looked phenomenal.
I can't think of any time I've seen Jade Cargill that she didn't look just absolutely phenomenal. I'm excited with what they're going to do with her in WWE. And Rick and I talked about this a few days ago. I really, really want to see her and Rhea go at it. I don't think that they will, because Rick made good points. I agree with him in the fact that I feel like Rhea is the future, and you can't cut that off at the knees by letting her get squashed by Jade Cargill. But that match has to happen at some point, and I'm about it. Jeb in the chat saying you can still have Nia get the title and have that match at WrestleMania. True. Very, very true.
Sorry about all the censoring, guys. Twitch sucks sometimes. It censored fellow. I don't understand that. Fellow? Why would you censor fellow? Whatever.
I mean, it's 2023. That's why. So our last match of the night is Seth Rollins going against Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, and they're going for the title. And it's a great match. They pulled out all the stops, both of them doing pulling out all their tricks. And in the end, Seth finally gets the win with the curb stomp. And out comes Drew, hits Jey Uso with a Claymore kick, slams Seth down, puts Jey through a table as they're going off air. It was hectic. The end of that match and Raw going off was hectic. So, of course, Drew's upset because Jey got a chance at the title before he did, and that's the reason for him coming out. I'm interested to see where this goes. Is Seth going to go ahead and give him the chance for it? Does him coming out make Seth say, nah, hell with you, you don't get one now? We'll have to wait till next week to find that out. Camino in the chat saying, trying to describe Jade Cargill and not use the word statuesque. Good luck. That she is the definition of the word statuesque.
There's all kinds of weird noises going around me right now. It's like I'm playing Demonologist again.
I was going to say, you got the ghosties?
Maybe.
All in all, I liked Raw. I thought it was, we had a lot of good stuff on there. A lot of people asking, why the hell wasn't CM Punk on the show? Well, because he wasn't. He'll be on SmackDown Friday, like tomorrow. He'll be on SmackDown. Another question that's being asked, why in the world did Randy Orton sign to SmackDown? Because aren't you going to have Cody and Roman, and what are all the things going on there? Well, I feel like you almost have to put Randy Orton on SmackDown because you're going to have CM Punk and Seth. It's going to happen. There's no question about it. It's going to be a thing. Maybe even as early as the Rumble. I hope it's not, because I feel like they need to build that some more. But maybe even as early as the Rumble, you're going to get CM Punk and Seth. So with that going on, you kind of have to put Randy over on SmackDown. And he's going to be going after the Bloodline. LA Knight's going after the Bloodline. We've got a thing now where Shinsuke Nakamura and Cody have a thing going. It's just
I don't play Galaga. That's hilarious though.
You know what? I'm digging the Avengers nod there. I love it. Think we didn't notice, but we did. No, all in all, I liked it. I'm going to give Raw an A. I'm interested to see where they go with a bunch of things going into Rumble next month, next year, next month. It's all the same thing. I'm interested to see what we have there. Going to do a quick run through AEW. We had our first match was Mox and Roosh for the Continental Classic tournament. I get it. I got you, dog.
It's been a little while since I watched the Marvel series or the Marvel movies in general. I kind of quit watching after Endgame. Just saying, because it kind of
Endgame was your Endgame, was it?
Yeah, everything went downhill. So, anyways, moving on. We're talking about wrestling.
Looking at AEW, Mox and Roosh for Continental Classic tournament. For those that don't know, on AEW they've got the a New Japan belt. They've got the ROH belt and a new belt that we haven't had the opportunity to see yet. Basically, what they're doing is combining all the belts. That's what it's going to boil down to. But they're having a tournament to see who's going to get that belt. And we had Mox and Roosh go at it. Lots of just straight up fighting here. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of wrestling moves going on here. It was a lot of chops, punches, kicks, throws. I mean, it was a fight. At the end, Mox ends up getting the win, puts him at the top of the tournament. Their setup is you get 0 points if you lose, you get 1 point for a tie, you get 3 points if you win the match. Mox is sitting at the top of that tournament with 9 points. We get another match for the Continental Classic in Swerve Strickland versus Mark Briscoe. That damn Swerve dance is just so damn catchy. I can't stand it. Looking over in the chat, Camino says, Rick once told me there was a belt that had plates to be completed or be competed for, and when everyone had the plates, they got the title. It's kind of like that. It started out just being the Continental title. Then they threw in the New Japan title on top of that. Eddie Kingston did because he had that title. So he puts that title on the line, and then they're just going to combine those. Like those, really think those titles are going to go away, and it's all combined into one title. That's the way I feel like that's going to work. Swerve Strickland, Mark Briscoe. What can I say about it? Man? Mark Briscoe, one of my very favorites. I've said it 100 times. If I had the opportunity to see it, if I had, I could just throw it out there, and if I booked it, it happened. I would take Mark Briscoe, I would bring him to Lubbock, Texas, and I would put him across the ring from Damian Blood. That would be the match.
Yeah, Camino's saying legit. And then
Rick says Lucha Underground, they had the Gift of the Gods championship. You know what? I remember that. I think I remember that. That sounds very familiar. We've got Swerve Strickland and Mark Briscoe going at it. Great match. Both guys showed out. Every time you thought it was over. Every single time. It didn't matter if Swerve Strickland was getting pinned, if Mark Briscoe was getting pinned. Every time you thought that's it. It's over. They can't take anymore. It was a kick out, and they continue to fight. Just a great match. All in all, it was an awesome match. Swerve ends up getting the Swerve Stomp and takes the win, which unfortunately eliminates Mark Briscoe from the tournament. He's still gonna fight. He's still gonna make a good showing, but it does eliminate him from the tournament. We got Timeless Toni Storm retaining her title over Blue Sky, which it was good. Camino says they competed for these individual plates, and when they got so many, they finally won the title. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that for this title. I mean, I think it's a good concept. I think it would go over well. I think the crowd would be about it. Plus, it gives you a chance to throw, oh, well, I've got this and this and this, and I stole this one. And there can be some controversy in it. I like the idea. I don't know if it's something they'll go with, but I'd like to see it. I think it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Timeless Toni Storm, like I said, retaining over Sky Blue. It was a good match. I mean, again, not going to say filler match. I mean, it's a championship match it's for the women's title, but it was it had that filler feel to it. The cool thing about it, though, is at the end of the match, you know, Tony Storm is in black and white all of a sudden, you know, sepia toned, and out comes Rio, a returning Rio who hasn't been there for a while and was the very first women's champion. And Rio wants to go after Tony Storm. Tony Storm's not having any pieces or parts of it. She's got to go right now. So we're gonna see that in the future, no question about that. We had the third and final match for the Continental Classics tournament, which was Jay Lethal versus Jay White. I was about this match, and the reason for that is I remember Jay Lethal and Jay White going at each other in Ring of Honor, and this whole match was very reminiscent of some of those matches they had in Ring of Honor. I mean, it was a fight in every sense of the word, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know, you watch a match like this, and some of these you're like, oh well, Jay White's the big name. Jay Lethal's going to lose this one. I knew that from the jump. I didn't. It was that good of a match. That is unfortunately the way it went, though. Jay White wins the match, gets the 3 points. Jay Lethal eliminated from the tournament, but Jay White is now tied with Mox at the top of the chain with 9.
Ooh.
And then we had the match that everybody's been waiting for. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. That's right. Edge and Christian in the ring together. I said it. I call him Edge. I ain't scared.
Now, they were partners
Everybody-
back in the day, right? Like, I'm not.
Yeah, they were
making
Edge
that
and
up.
Christian.
Yeah, okay.
No, they were Edge and Christian.
That's what I
And that's the draw for this is it's Edge versus Christian, but I can't say Edge versus Christian because WWE will say
WWE.
bad words to me. So it's Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. There's been a lot of build up to this, and Cage just gets utterly destroyed. Like Adam Copeland is throwing him around like a rag doll.
Mm.
And I'm about it. You know, I thought it was great until Shayna Wayne, who, for those who don't know who Shayna Wayne is, that is Nick Wayne's mother, goes heel on Copeland and costs him the match. We get to see Cage put his finisher in. Copeland loses the match. Shayna walks out. It's just a whole thing. Everybody's in disbelief. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. What are we going to do? I will say this. I was upset in the fact that everybody thought Shayna Wayne was with Adam Copeland on this. And of course, she made the heel turn. And people are calling this they were in Montreal, and they're calling it the Montreal Screw Job version 2. And no, hell no. No, that's not what this was. And how dare.
Yeah. I actually got to watch that on some history the other day.
About the Montreal Screw Job?
Yeah, I was very surprised about it. Anyway, well, that's for another time.
That's something we can get into another time. It's one of the bigger things in wrestling history to happen, and definitely changed my opinion of Bret Hart a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew Vince McMahon was an asshole already, but
Still is.
I mean, yeah. All right, so that I'm gonna give it a B- for AEW Dynamite. It could have been better, but it wasn't bad. So we're gonna go a B- on that, and that is our week in review. You know, you add everything we've just gone over to that OSW show, and not a bad 7 days.
No,
I'll have
and I actually enjoyed OSW more than all the other shows. Just saying.
No, I get you.
OSW is the only one I watched. Haven't really had time for anything else. I've been working on some videos. Just saying, they're going to be coming soon. Definitely enjoyed the past weekend. I do have something for all of you watchers and viewers of Twitch. If you have channel points, right now is the best time, at least today. There is a community contest going on. So if you add channel points to that contest, you can do a minimum of 200 and a maximum of 2,000. When we hit the 50,000 goal that's on there, this beard is getting glitterified. Okay, so let's hit that goal. It doesn't have to be the 21 days. We can do it after that. Like it doesn't matter. Just as long as we reach that goal, I really want to hit that because I want to glitter this. It's gonna be awesome. And you guys get to choose.
Wants to be off Spark Week.
Hell yeah!
Looking in the chat, Mikey is subscribing at Tier 1 for the last 5 months on a 4-month streak. Mikey, thank you. Appreciate you, brother. And we appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch, everybody who takes time to follow, all of our subscribers. We really do appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, so we couldn't do this without you guys.
We are going to introduce right now a new segment to the show because it is the holiday season. And so I was thinking, what do you do when it's coming up on Christmas time? You make Christmas lists. You make, what do I want for Christmas? So that's what we're going to call this segment is what I want for Christmas is. And I'll give you an example. This one's for you, Patrick. J Reb in the chat saying, where do I put the points?
So it depends on if you're on PC or on phone. Whether it should be a little tab somewhere near the chat, above the chat, in the app somewhere for the channel, and then you just click the drop down box, and it should you should be able to add those points. I know lots of us have, like I'm sitting at 26,000 right now. So, but you can only
Does it say community challenge or glitter beard? Or?
Yes, it does. It'll say glitter beard. There's a little star with the more stars around it, something like that, as a picture. But yeah, you just click that. It'll put in as many points as you can because y'all want to see this glitter. Just saying.
And glitter.
And glitter.
J Reb has contributed 2,000 total to the glitter beard challenge. J Reb, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Camino asking, who I got my eye on? And the answer to that being Jade Cargill.
Hey, the color, Camino, does not matter. That's up to you guys. The votes. I guess I should make a poll for that. Like I put other there's silver, pink, rainbow, hot pink, whatever, red, green. I don't care. You guys choose.
Mikey contributing 2,000 as well. Thank you so much, Mikey. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
So I do have to say a quick thank you now that he's here in the chat to Mike for joining me in commentary at OSW. It was really fun. It was really cool to have you there to give some of the history of OSW that I didn't know about and correct me on some of the moves.
Like the Spanish Fly, I believe was one of them.
Like the Spanish Fly.
Yeah, and I agree with you, J Reb. I would do all of it as well if I could. I would just my channel alone or my stream watching alone has 26,000. Like, what am I going to do with those points? Just toss them in there.
All right, so here's how this new segment's going to work. All I want for Christmas is I already know what Camino wants, and I'm sorry, I don't have any bags of weed or fat bitches. I'm sorry. A wrestling podcast. But sorry, personal joke there. What it is like, I'll give the first example. All I want for Christmas from Tony Khan is for Sting's last match to be against anybody that's name is not Ric Flair. I mean, I know it's going that way. They're building to it. I know it's going to happen. But if I could have one thing for Christmas from Tony Khan, it would be don't do it. I think I've made it clear how I feel about Jeff Jarrett on this show in the past. I would rather see Sting go out against Jeff Jarrett, and I would cheer for it, rather than watch him go against Ric Flair, because Ric Flair has got everybody's saying he's got one more match left in him. No, he doesn't. He's got -2 matches because he shouldn't have done the last 2. Mikey's saying all he wants for Christmas is a sold-out BCW show. We need to make that happen.
Well, he doesn't have a show later on, like before Christmas or at
But
Christmas.
see, that that's true. Camino says he'll settle for a Jade Cargill and an undefeated streak. I feel that. I feel that.
I really don't know what I want for Christmas. I'm always undecided.
I think he wants Ray Ray to come back. That's what he wants.
I mean, there you go. There you go. All I want for Christmas is Ray Ray to come back.
He wants Ray Ray to come back and Trish to come over. That's it. That's what he wants for Christmas.
I'll get in lots of trouble for that last part. Oh, tickets are on sale for the BCW show already. By the way, the BCW show does fall on my birthday, so that would be a great birthday gift for a sold out show. Hell yeah, y'all come see us, hang out, say hello.
For those of you that haven't heard or were not at the last BCW show, we've got a little something going on there. It would seem that our boy Little Guapo has run his mouth one too many times about Scar, and Scar has challenged him to the Bear Hug Challenge. So January 13th for BCW Dangerous, it's going to be Scar and Little Guapo in the Bear Hug Challenge, and I don't know what to think about it. I love my son, but Scar's a big dude.
Hell yeah, Camino.
Looking back at the chat, Rick says, I just want TK to decide he wants to have a wrestling promotion and not a playground for his friends. Amen. If he is not the biggest 80s, 90s mark in existence. No, sorry, I'm getting a little heated there.
Simmer
I
down.
almost feel like I gotta calm it down. It's almost like somebody said Chris Watson there for a second.
Oh, good Lord.
Bring
Let's
it
not
down.
talk about that guy and his silly ass duster.
That guy.
That guy.
In the words of that great philanthropist, Dwayne Johnson, he can take his duster, shine it up real nice, like turn that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up his candy ass. That's how I feel about it.
I got this thing. I just added. Oh, is it not there? Oh, it's still pending. That's rude. Whatever.
Camino in the chat asking Mikey, hey, he's got a question for you. Is Logan Knight still ducking you? Is he still a little butthurt, or is he ready to come see you in the ring?
Ooh. Do-rag Chris Watson.
Do-rag quick.
That guy.
His do-rag can follow his duster.
Now, I
Did
have
get a
been-
chance. I will say this, and I said it at the OSW show because he was there. I was going to leave it alone. But now we started talking about Chris Watson, so now we're going to talk about Chris Watson. All I want for Chris Watson, all I want for Christmas is for Chris Watson. You know what? I can't say stuff like that because that's not nice.
I mean, I've already thrown the
Community
F-bomb out at
standard.
least once tonight, so.
Community standards. Chris Watson went against Tino Valentino to open up the OSW show. Tino always a great competitor, and I will give Chris Watson this. As a person, asshole. But as a wrestler, he is quite the technician. And he did get the win in that. It was a dirty win.
Very.
Like, he cheated.
Yeah.
Cheating ass.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey.
he is a mat technician. And I will, as much as I can't stand that dude right now, I will give him that.
Naughty Guapo check. Oh, man.
See, if I start talking about Chris Watson, I am gonna end up on the naughty list, and then I'm gonna get coal, and then I'm gonna take it to his house and light it. And it's a thing.
Yes. And it was horrible. Guapo permanently stays on the naughty list, Camino. Just saying.
I am the naughty list.
Yeah, oh, you are the naughty. Okay.
You'll say it right. I am the naughty list.
Oh, you is the naughty list. Oh, I got you.
So I gotta ask the chat and ask you, Patrick, if you could see something, if you could go right now and say, Triple H, Mr. Levesque, if I could get one thing for Christmas from you, what's that going to be?
Don't tell him what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
If I could ask Triple H that question.
I think for me, it would be if I could say, Trips, this is what I want for Christmas. Make it happen. I think it would have to be allowing or doing whatever it is he's got to do to put it together to get the match everybody's asking for at Mania, which is Punk versus Steve Austin.
Well, and wait, so Austin came back? I didn't know that.
No, he's not back, but I
Oh,
see him
okay.
come back.
See him come back. See, I was thinking more like the Undertaker come back. Like, I don't know.
All right, so we've got Camino saying, Mr. Triple H, all I want for Christmas is either Sting versus Undertaker or 17-time WWE champion John Cena. John Cena with the big mouth.
Chenna. not a.
Rick saying Miko Satomura leading Asuka. Oh, see, I know what you're talking about there. That would be, yes. The Yakuza foursome. That, Patrick, I see what you're thinking when I said that. You need to stop.
I'm just surprised
family
Twitch
show.
didn't. I'm real surprised that Twitch didn't, censor that for some reason.
Saying this is a family show, and I know where you were going with that. Yeah, Miko
Juan
Satomura,
Cena.
Oscar, Kairi, and Io as the Yakuza foursome. Shit. Unstoppable force right there. Of course, if you got that, could you imagine the Yakuza foursome? Of course, we'd have to get one of them to come back to the WWE, but get that Yakuza foursome against the four horsewomen. Mr. Triple H, all I want for Christmas is the Yakuza foursome against the four horsewomen. We'd have to get Sasha to come back, which is going to take a little while because I think she just re-signed with New Japan. But man, what a match that would be.
Yeah. Gunther versus Lesnar.
All right, so it's interesting you say that. I'm starting to hear chatter about that being a WrestleMania thing. Like people are asking for that at WrestleMania, having Gunther and Lesnar go at it. I think it would be a good match. I think, and this is going to sound terrible, I know, but I think there are other talents out there that could work better with Gunther than Brock Lesnar. Although now that Brock Lesnar is doing the Happy Brock thing, like I feel like not only has his on the mic presence improved, but his in-ring has improved. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad match. I wouldn't mind seeing it at all. Yeah, Yakuza versus the Horseman. We got to find a way to make that happen.
Maya Lesnar
Maya
versus
Lesnar versus
Oh,
Ronda
Maya.
Rousey. Yeah. Maya Lesnar, that poor thing, looks just like her daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like exactly like her daddy.
Yep. Built just like him. I've seen her workout
And-
videos.
I would not say that to her face because,
You wouldn't
her
have one
biceps as
afterwards.
big as my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not. That'd be a good match, though. Although, I thought Ronda Rousey was. Ronda Rousey was done, but she seems to be, making appearances in several other places.
Mhm.
So I don't know. We'll have to see what she's going to do.
She's just like
Um,
everybody
we're
else coming
staying
back.
very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Say what?
It's just like everybody else coming back. You got CM Punk and Randy Orton, which he's only been out for a little while. And you got
R-Truth. Hello.
oh,
The
hello.
most important comeback out of all of them. We got R-Truth back.
My bad. My bad. I haven't watched. That's my fault. I apologize.
Oh, Camino says Maya Lesnar versus The Rock's daughter. Yeah, Maya and Rain. That'd be a match. I could see that.
I don't know.
Trying to think of what else I would like to see from Mr. Triple H. I need a deal with New Japan that leads to Gorillas of Destiny. Hey, okay. Okay. You're gonna have to throw it at us, Rick. Tell us about the Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas of Destiny.
Gorillas.
Yeah, because I don't know what that is. I'm slacking on my job as the guy. That's all I'm saying.
Slacking on your pimping.
Mm. Oh yes. Sable's puppies. Haku's kids.
Okay, I thought that's what it was. It's Haku's kids. Prince Haku. His kids.
Babwa.
I can see it. I mean, they are technically still WWE royalty. I mean, Tamatanga, Tangaloa, and Hikelu.
You're speaking Russian to me. I guess it's
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian. Yeah.
Samoan. Samoan.
Samoan. There you go.
Camino's saying the only thing he wants to see for Christmas is Sable's puppies again. See, that's going to get you in trouble with Brock Lesnar. I think. I don't know if they're still together.
Like, are we talking actual puppies or are we talking like puppies?
No, puppies.
Puppies.
Do you think Camino gives a damn about her dogs?
A whole fantasy booking? Ooh,
Email that to me, Rick. I'd love to see that.
that would be great. Because I want to see it.
So I got to throw it out there because I know we've got Jeb Bingham, our boy in the chat. Jeb, what would you like to see? Whether it's WWE, AEW, BCW, whatever it is, what's your Christmas wish? Sweater puppies. J Reb says sweater puppies. I can see Rick right now rubbing his temples because again, he and I talked a little earlier this week, and that was one of the things that he was glad to see the commentary change just a little bit because he was getting tired of hearing Jerry Lawler talk about the puppies. Or sorry, if we're gonna do it like Jerry Lawler, it'd be puppies.
Oh, good Lord. Don't do that again. Don't do it again, please.
I won't be doing that again.
Ah,
That was a one-off.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had talked to some of my friends about and told them that this is what we're going to do for it. And I'd had somebody throw something out there. It'll never happen because they've all gone their separate ways. But I've got a buddy of mine that if he could ask Mr. Triple H for anything, it would be for a Shield reunion.
Shield reunion.
Yeah, that would be Roman Reigns, John Moxley, and Seth Rollins.
You know who? Okay, if I had, hear me out.
I'm
Is it
here,
the-
yeah. What you got?
The Dudley brothers. Isn't that who they used to be called?
Dudley
the-
Boys?
The Dudley Boys. There it is. I miss watching them. They were awesome. Bring them back. Why can't we see them?
Because Devon can't wrestle anymore because of injuries sustained, and Bully Ray, I think, is still at Impact.
Rude. Well, so I can erase that shit. Let's go back in time a little.
But you know what? It's Christmas time, and Christmas miracles can happen.
Yes. Yes.
I know.
Spike just came back too.
Yeah, Spike Dudley did just come back, and so I was telling Mama Bruss what we were going to talk about. Uh, her thing is because Tony Khan is the mark that he is, it very possibly could happen. But she wants to see Adam Copeland and Christian Cage take their feud to the level and then have a run in by the Hardy Boys, who are still on AEW. And she wants a TLC match between Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys just for old time's sake.
Oh. That would be kind of cool. Maybe a little more than cool.
No, that would have been cool 20 years ago.
I mean,
And not near one of them gentlemen have any business doing ladder, table, or chair bumps at this point in their careers.
well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a tall ladder. It could be stepping
It's going to be one of
stools.
those 3-rung stubby ladders.
Yeah, just that's all I'm saying. Just do a little step ladder. You be fine.
Camino saying in the chat, Jeff Hardy wants to come back to WWE. I don't blame him. I really don't. I don't know, given his history, unfortunately recent history, whether or not he would be brought back. I would like to see Jeff Hardy, if he's thinking retirement anytime in the near future, I would like to see Jeff Hardy retire with the WWE as opposed to AEW, but I don't know. I don't know if they'd let him.
Here's another one. I'd really like to see now, The Rock and Austin battle it out again.
I mean, that would be interesting to see. Camino saying he's got the quote he just said in an interview talking about Jeff Hardy back to WWE. Sure would like to see it. But no, The Rock and Austin, this would be what? Rock and Austin 4, if it ever happened
Yeah.
again?
Something like that.
Start running like the Rocky movies.
Hey.
I do
Bring back-
really want to see the idea of the CM Punk and Austin, though. I mean, in my opinion, he was a little slower than he used to be because, that was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think Austin proved he could hold his own in a 10-minute match whenever he went against Kevin Owens a couple years ago. Looking at the chat, Camino says, I wants to quit AEW. Jeff Hardy claims that the script for AEW is regrettable and that he feels like a ghost in that company. Former world champion wants to break his bond with AEW, making it clear that his intention is to return to WWE because he feels he owes WWE fans a dignified retirement and a better version of himself. I like it.
Yes.
And I agree. I agree with him. Had the opportunity, not in a wrestling ring or a wrestling situation, but in a music situation, got the opportunity to meet Jeff Hardy. And, he was clean and he was all about his music and he was very into it. And then 6 months later, I'm hearing he's getting arrested for DUI. And if I'm Triple H, I can't help but take note of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like he is a better version of himself right now. And I'm sorry, AEW, both the Hardy Boys, AEW is not using them for anything. Like, it's a joke. It really is.
CM Punk versus AJ Styles. That's my wild card.
Ooh.
That's
I gotta
what
go with
Jeb
you,
wants.
Jeff. That'd be a good match. I'm just trying to think about that. CM Punk and AJ Styles. That would be a banger match, man. The question is, what wins out in that? Do we see the GTS or do we see the Styles clash?
Why not both? See them both.
I mean, yeah. Rick saying there's a ton of people finding out that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. There is. I mean, you look at what's he calling himself? Nero? No, it's not Nero. used to be Rusev. They don't use him for anything anymore. And he actually, I mean, he was so popular when he left WWE. It hurts my heart. It really does. The whole Adam Copeland thing. Adam Copeland going over there. I feel like I'm going to give you the conversation I feel like happened. I think Adam Copeland called Trips, who was on the phone with Vince, and said, look, they're offering me this much money, and I can go over there and see Christian, and I can do this whole thing, and I want to do it. And I feel like they said, you know what? Head over there, make your money, and then come back here for a proper retirement. And I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Huh. I could see it.
Thank you, Camino. Miro. Rusev's wrestling under Miro. But they don't do anything with him, and it hurts my heart. Really does.
Waste of talent.
It is. And I feel like there's some of the guys that are over at AEW right now just to say, hey, WWE, look who we've got and you don't have anymore. Our roster's so bloated we can't do anything with them, but we got them.
Right. Yeah. You think it'll turn out just like WCW?
I mean, it's possible. There's a mark running that one too. Let me not say that. When Bischoff was running it, WCW was doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about how much better DX was than the NWO. There is no DX without the NWO, and the NWO was an Eric Bischoff creation. So, I mean, you gotta give it to the man.
Indeed.
But I could see it. Camino saying the U.S. title match between Rusev and Cena at Mania was phenomenal. I agree wholeheartedly. That was probably my favorite Rusev match out of all the matches he had. Was his U.S. title match with Cena. And I gotta admit, I was doing the Rusev Day cheer.
Yeah.
That's another one I really would like to see come back to WWE, but he's doing so well in AEW, I don't think he will, is Daniel Bryan. Excuse me, Bryan Danielson.
Well, you weren't far off.
Camino said the entrance was ballsy. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's the one where he came in the tank, right?
Love the delay.
Yeah, a little delay there. It's fine. I am looking forward to see what all we get out of Mania, and as we get closer to that, of course, we'll be talking more about it. But oh yeah, coming out to the Russian anthem. Yeah. It's a big Mania. It's WrestleMania 40. It's gonna be huge.
I hope so. It's 40. It's the big 4-0.
Well, and I'm hoping it's huge for more reasons than it's just WrestleMania. Like, I hope that they book the matches that will put it over as the big 4-0, Rick saying, I need WWE to have another Evolution event or a Peacock exclusive women's division weekly show. Ah, yes. That could be good.
Be very nice.
They have started doing more with their women's division, and I'm happy to see that. I still say they've got a long way to go, but they are starting to do more with it. So having a weekly women's division show would be good. Well, I am looking down at the clock. It's 9:25, so we are 5 minutes out from the end of the show, which means it is time for final thoughts of the night. We'll turn it over first to the one, the only, the guy.
My final thoughts are I hope everybody has a great Christmas, and thank you guys for being here and joining us every week since we started this. It's been a wild ride. I'm loving every bit of it, going to everybody's different shows and getting to meet all the wrestlers and everybody else. It's just been a hell of a ride, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. To be honest with you, I've never really been interested in wrestling up until recently, and going to you guys' shows is kind of lighting a fire under my ass. Now I need to start watching WWE so I don't sit here like a moron all night and just look at the screen, listening to you talk. Join the.
I do that well.
I need to join the J-Reb crew over there in California. Jump on the bandwagon and be like, "Hey, let's watch some wrestling." So, but no, I do. I love every second of this. We couldn't do it without you guys in the chat and everybody that's watching and following and listening. And we do appreciate every bit of it. And I hope
Rick in the
everybody-
chat saying Rick's in the chat saying he's going to be in Lubbock the 13th through the 16th. We must hang. Absolutely, we will make that happen.
Yeah, 13th is my birthday. Well, January.
No, December.
January. Yeah, just
December
I'm like,
13th.
look at it's like it's the 7th. Like, what the hell? Anyways, yeah, guys, thank you very much for everything y'all are doing with us, and we're glad that you're here. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas, because I don't think I'll be on the next show. I'll be behind the scenes again. I hope so.
We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know.
Maybe.
You never know
Maybe.
what you're going to get when we start the show. It is what it is.
I mean, 5 minutes beforehand, I was like, let me change a shirt because I was not in this.
As for me, my final thoughts, I'm with Patrick on this. The guy is absolutely right. Thank you so much to all of you who join in the chat, who allow us to be a part of your shows. Rick, Mike, Tori, we thank you so much for letting us be a part of this family. And that's exactly what we consider you guys as family. I've never seen more of a family dynamic than when I started going to these West Texas independent wrestling shows with BCW, Squared Circle Pro, with OSW, what little bit of South Plains Championship Wrestling I've gotten to see. There's just this family feel to it, and we are honored to be a part of that family. We've got all sorts of good stuff coming up in January, but we've still got 3 more shows this month before we get to January. So again, thank you for being a part of our show. Thank you for the subscriptions, for the follows, for being in the chat. We're going to be here next Thursday night, 8 p.m. What are we going to talk about? I don't know yet. Watch the socials. We will be letting you know exactly that. Until then, he is the guy. I'm Guapo, and this is Not Your Average Mark. We'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Yeah.